All right, fellas, we're gonna do a little whiteboard education today because so many of you dads out there think you gotta starve yourself in order to lose some fat. But that's actually the exact reason why so many of you guys fail in your journeys. You don't have to eat like some bird in order to lose your belly. You just have to understand your calories and how they work with your body. So today we're gonna simplify and break down some things like BMR, calorie deficits, and just overall how to lose weight while maintaining your energy and still eating some real foods, okay? So step one is gonna be BMR. So we got BMR. What does that mean? That means your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories your body is going to burn on the day, no matter what, to keep you alive. That's the calories you burn to breathe, to digest food, to just sit there and keep your body warm. Okay, no matter what, this is the amount of calories your body is going to burn. And the best way to come up with this number, you just go over to Google, you type in BMR calculator, you're gonna input your age, your height, and your weight, and it's gonna pop out a number. And for most men, it's gonna be anywhere from about 1,700 to 2,000 calories that your body burns just to keep you alive, okay? So with that number, it's also gonna have you input your daily activity. It's gonna be, light, intermediate, moderate, heavy, whatever. And then it's gonna add some calories on there because you're burning more calories depending on how active you are. So if you're, let's say pick a number, let's say 1,900 calories is your BMR number, but you're lightly active. So that number is gonna come out to about 2,400 calories, okay? So for one day to keep you alive, your body's going to burn 2,400 calories, okay? Now, if you're my client, depending on a lot of factors, your body composition, how you're holding your fat, where you're holding your fat, how old you are, how active you are, a lot of other factors that I will take into more consideration, we will change this number a bit, but on a very easy way to break this down is you're gonna subtract about 400 or 500 calories from this number to eat at a good calorie deficit. So we'll just say minus 500 calories, and that's gonna put you at 1,900 calories per day. Okay, that's your number. So that's the number you're gonna wanna aim for to try to adequately lose weight, and you're gonna be aiming for about 1 pound a week, okay? So we'll break this down even a little further. So we'll show you a funnel. So this is your BMR at the bottom of the funnel. In the middle, you have your activity level. And at the top, you have your food intake. So your food intake is how many calories you eat per day. How active you are adds more calories that you have to eat in order to maintain. But at the end of that, you get your BMR, okay? It's pretty simple stuff to understand. As long as you're eating at about a 400 or 500 calorie deficit, then you're going to adequately lose weight. So far we've gone over BMR, calorie deficit. And the next thing we're gonna go over is a simple macro split. So you probably hear that term all the time, macros this, macros that, and you're probably either you know what they are or you have no idea. And most of my clients have no idea. So it's gonna be your total calories per day broken down into 3 categories, okay? So here's we'll do a little pie chart. So your macro split or ratios, macro, you're gonna have 3 categories. You're gonna have your fats, your proteins, and your carbs, okay? And so a pretty basic breakdown ratio, we can do like a 40, 30, 30 split, okay? So we'll write that down, 40, 30, 30. So that's gonna be 40% on your protein, it's gonna be 30% on your carbs, 30% on your fats, okay? So that's how you break it down, all your total calories for the day into these 3 categories. And these are the numbers you gotta really watch in order to either lose fat, gain muscle, or both at the same time, which is typically the goal that I use with my clients. Now, we're gonna break this down even further. So say you eat, you're right at like an even number. We're gonna say your BMR is, your goal calories for the day is gonna be 2,000 calories, okay? We'll break that down. So we'll break this down into your protein, your carbs, and your fats. So if you have a 2,000 calorie and you're at a 40, 30, 30, 40, 30, 30, this is gonna be about 200 grams of protein, about 150 grams of carbs, and about 65 grams of fat, okay? So that is the breakdown of how much you can eat in each category. And there's a bunch of different apps to track your macros. There's a bunch, it's very simple stuff to do nowadays. You have all those tools right at your fingertips. Because the whole key is you're not trying to starve yourself. You're just trying to cut out the junk food and, track your food smart. So the thing is with this number and my clients is sometimes this number right here, I might bring this down to a 20 and I might bring this number down to, or up to a 40. So we'll do a 40, 40, 20. And from what I like on this is when you up the carbs a little bit, you're gonna be able to have the ability to build muscle a little bit faster, a little bit better. And then you're gonna cut those fats down. It's gonna help eliminate fat a little bit faster. But again, this is on a case-by-case basis, and it's all dependent on a lot of different outside factors. So this is the breakdown on if you're eating like a 2,000 calorie diet, on your macro split, it's gonna be about a 200, 150, 65, unless we change these numbers up a little bit, which is pretty common. So to kind of break this down for today, we've gone over your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, which means the amount of calories you have to eat to maintain. And then from that, you're gonna subtract about 400 or 500 calories to eat at a good calorie deficit. So number 2 is calorie deficit, right here, that's your calorie deficit. And then number 3 is to be able to eat a balanced macro diet. And I mean, it's not gonna be fully balanced, but you're just gonna understand what your macros are. So you got your BMR, calorie deficit, and then you got your macros. So those are the 3 important things that you're gonna really need to hone in when you are trying to actually burn some fat, but also maintain or build some muscle at the exact same time. So another little key factor that I like to bring in, you're not gonna really track it on a Monday through Sunday schedule every single day. The way you really want to pay attention is going to be on a week by week basis, because you need to eat at about a 3,500 calorie deficit per week to lose 1 pound of fat. Okay, so if you do 500 calories a day of a deficit times 7 days, that is your 3,500 calories that you need to not eat in order to lose that pound of fat. So you got to understand your body's not going to change on a day-to-day. It's going to change on a week-to-week basis. So tracking this number on a week-to-week basis is more important, because one day maybe you'll eat 2,100 calories, but maybe the next day you're going to eat 1,700 calories. So for me and my clients, we like to go by the week-to-week. It's a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to maintain, and it kind of keeps that metabolism going because you're not just eating the exact same amount of calories every day. Now, one more really important thing is at least once, if not twice a week, you should be eating at a calorie surplus to keep that metabolism firing at all cylinders, because otherwise your metabolism will adapt and it will not continue to give you the same results. Another key factor is this number right here. This will change because you will be losing weight. So you need to recalculate your numbers based upon your current weight. If you lose 15 pounds, that's gonna be a much different number than the first number that you started with. So your next step is to go to the link in my bio, click the link, book a one-on-one call with me so you can stop starving yourself and start getting shredded.